First question is just how you're feeling about the disruption. Was it a pain or is it just another chance to rest for the squad?
No, it's definitely not a chance to rest. We'd have loved to have built some momentum, and we were playing at home and the guys are looking forward to it, and we had prepared really well for that game. So yes, it was disappointing, but I think COVID's taught us to be resilient and relentless on issues that might be uncontrollable. So yeah, we'll take that in our stride, but once again, we're excited to get the tournament going again, and the challenge that Munster will bring in Cork.
Does the fact that you're playing, someone else say you're playing Munster instead of Ulster, does that change anything with preparation? Will that affect the squad you select?
Obviously two different teams, so it does change your preparation. So we've got to pretend that we played the game against Ulster and move on to Munster. We obviously have planned the 5 weeks quite thoroughly with regards to selection. So like I said, the team could be different this week.
And in terms of, are you going to have some tough conversations with players who were expecting to be playing against Ulster and who maybe now won't be in the frame just because, like you said, it's a different opponent? That's something you're having to prepare for?
Yeah, it's also how we play in the 5 weeks is to get everyone back on the field and give everyone an opportunity. Now you've lost one game, so you've only got 4 games to do so. So unfortunately it can be like that in certain positions, but that's the way it is, and it has been explained to the players, and obviously we're very transparent with our selection.
Munster, a bit of a new setup. They've lost a couple of experienced players. Clayton McMillan is in, and a few new coaching stuff. What are you expecting from them now? They're 2 from 2.
Yeah, it's a team that's got a new coach is always going to be dangerous because it's time to impress and trying to cement your place on a permanent basis within the squad. They've had a good start to this season with 2 wins. So, obviously there's been a change already. There is a slight change in how they're approaching the game. Not too much to what they had last year, but we have picked up a few things, and obviously from a Southern Hemisphere point of view. So yes, it'll be a little bit different Munster, but looking forward to it as always.
Does the fact that you gave them a bloody nose at Thomond Park last year, does that inspire a lot more confidence? A lot of these players were there and they'll remember how well they played, especially in that first half.
Yes, I think when you look at that, we'll always look back on the game that we played and we'll see what worked. We've also got to understand that it's a different animal this time round. Like you said, new coach, they would have also learned lessons out of that game too. They've got some players back that weren't available in that game. Jack Crowley's playing really well at the moment. We saw that on Saturday night. So he's massively influential. So we need to look after him. And obviously it just depends what they select around 9 as well.
And in terms of the players who weren't available going into Ulster, are there any from that injury list who are fit and available for selection this week?
Yes, there's a few guys that have obviously done their return to play last week, so we'll wait for Thursday and see how they come through today, which is going to be a tough session, and obviously we'll look at selection then.